Hello, good people. This is a PSA from TSA. You are listening to the Underground Railroad Show at Spreaker.com. I am the great TSA with my assistant, That Ninja. I'm sorry for the lack of attendance. I was busy spiking faces and beating data dominoes. TSA out.
Oh, man, I love the game of golf. It was a beautiful day out here today, wasn't it, baby girl? You didn't think it was a nice day today?
Well, I am sweating all over, so no, I didn't really think it was.
Well, I mean, you got to drive the car. You got to drive the car, and it did have the hood on it, so it kept the sun off of you.
Yeah, but it had no air conditioning.
Well, okay, fair enough. So, we're going to get something to eat, right?
Of course.
Cool.
And you're obviously paying, right?
Always. Always. Man, golf is a fun sport. Hey, I drove the ball pretty well today, don't you think?
Pretty well to the far right, yeah?
But, okay, even though I went right, my iron game was really good, and I was able to fight my way out of that.
Yeah, but you hit it into the sand, and you did that quite often, might I add.
Even when I went in the sand, my chip was really tight, so I was able to get out of there and get close to the flag.
After 3 times.
You have to admit, though, my putting game was really good, and it saved me a lot of the times from all of the bad hits I had out in the fairway.
And it only took you 11 holes. Listen, until you get a good golfing game, I'm going to keep giving you shit.
I'm improving. I mean, since I've gotten started, haven't I got a lot better?
Yes, you've gotten better since your injury.
We don't have to talk about my shoulder, but I mean, that's another reason why it's coming along slowly, but, you know, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Sure.
Hey, baby girl, I'm about to go hop in the shower. When I get out, we head out to the volleyball tournament, okay?
Okay. Oh, can I use my the computer?
Oh, yeah, of course, baby. Of course. Hey, baby girl.
Yeah.
Repetition breeds familiarity.
Familiarity breeds comfort. Comfort breeds complacency or success. We're going for the latter rather than the former.
All right, good deal. Handle business.
Okay.
Hey, remember you're a beast out there. Act like it.
I will.
All right.
Let me see what he got in these emails. Spam. Overdue bills. Not surprised. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. Young nigga got it bad 'cause he's broke. What is this? Sarah? Linda? Becky? Amber? Amy? Molly? Ginger? Heather? Karen? Oh, hell no. We are not having this. No, I don't want no Pancake Tuesdays. Oh, God, delete. No, I do not want your lemon bars, Karen. Oh, my dad's gonna get...
Do you have strong opinions and you're looking for a way to express them? Are you tired of carbon copy sports radio that infests the airwaves? Do you have creative concepts and ideas that you want to share with the world? Then this is not the commercial for you. This commercial is all about
Kinko's University.
That's right. Kinko's University gets you prepared for the podcasting world when you don't have the chops for it. If you're one of the many people looking to get into podcasting, but you just don't have the skill, Kinko's University is the university for you.
I want to do a podcast, but where do I start? And what do I talk about? Kinko's University.
Don't worry, here at Kinko's University, the first thing we teach you about is OPP. That's right, other people's perspective. So you can always have something to talk about getting it from another source.
Podcasting looks fun, but do I really have to do all that research and show prep? Kinko's University.
Absolutely not. Here at Kinko's, we have classes like No Preparation 101, where we teach you to get around all of that pesky show prep because we know you don't have the time.
I wonder what the best time slot is to get the most listeners.
Kinko's University.
Don't worry, here at Kinko's, we have a class called Recycling Ideas 101, where you can find a time slot that works and just jump in that slot to try to make it happen for yourself.
Kinko's University.
I want to come up with new content and subject matter, but I'm not that creative.
Kinko's University.
You'll also take Regurgitation 101, which will help you come up with other people's subject matter that you can recycle and make your own. That's right, here at Kinko's, we teach you how to get around hard work, getting new wrinkles in your brain, and having to work hard at your craft. Come to Kinko's, where you can take these top courses with top teachers. Most people that go to Kinko's graduate with Kinko's degrees, that's right, as master copiers. Kinko's University, for the skilled impaired.
Kinko's University is not a real university and is not accredited. You don't actually learn any skills. You just learn how to mimic people who have actual skill.
Hello, good people. This is a PSA from TSA. You are listening to the Underground Railroad Show at Spreaker.com. I am the great TSA with my assistant, That Ninja. I'm sorry for the lack of attendance. I was busy spiking faces and beating data dominoes. TSA out.
Underground Railroad Show with That Ninja. All aboard at the tickets ready because the train has arrived. Delayed or on time, it's time to get on board.
What's going on, fam? This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Thank you for coming aboard and rolling with me. Truly, truly appreciate it. I could get into a lot of apologies. I'm sorry for the lack of frequency. Promise to do better in the upcoming year. Worst year I've ever had as far as frequency of the show. My apologies for that. But as I've said on multiple occasions this year, couldn't be helped. Couldn't be helped. Thank you for coming aboard and rolling with me. I see you in the chat room. Mic check. Quick mic check, just making sure that I am audible. If I'm audible, I will continue. What I'm going to give you is a quick little end of the year review. Couple of quick things to get into and apologize for. After I get the thumbs up on the audio, going to jump right into the format. Good day for football. We got Nebraska. Is that Houston? Nebraska playing Utah, right? Nebraska playing Utah. Got Duke and Arizona State in a really good game. Duke and Arizona State are really having a nice game as far as it being visibly appeasing. Thank you for that, Jungle. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all in the chat room. I'll do intros in 1 second. Let me give you a little something to chew on. All right, so end of the year review. I've missed out on a lot of shows. I'm not going to try to make up everything, so I'll start here. A lot of things at the end of the year. Football-wise, I'm going to focus on college because of the time of year it is, the day that it is. Obviously, the Ohio State University playing a little bit later on today. Couple of hours. I mean, they're going to start the theatrics. Slow down, T. they're going to start the theatrics in a couple of hours. The actual football probably going to be closer to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'll definitely be off air by then. I'll make sure to read your chat and have a good time, close out the year properly. I tell you right now, at the end of the year, I always play Pop's Words. I'm going to play it today, but I'm going to have to play it on my phone. So I'll probably kill the camera and just run it through the headset. I couldn't, for whatever reason, I can't connect to my computer and pull things off of my phone anymore, or I couldn't get it done beforehand. It should have been transferred to the hard drive that I have connected, but it wasn't. Those that are familiar with the show know what that's about. That's at the end of the show, not relevant right now. So my apologies for the lack of frequency. Life, a little bit of choices, a little busy, and I'll be honest, your boy just been in I've just been enjoying life, man. I've been enjoying life, and some of that has been a tad bit busy. It's just been just haven't been in a position to do the show as frequently as I would like. But, to be honest with you, I suffer as a result. Like, it's not a good thing. I know for a fact that if I was confused about, how therapeutic this is or how much I need my therapy, I mean, I already knew that. Just to be honest, I've known that I've been doing it for a while. I wouldn't have done this shit for a decade if I didn't enjoy it on some level. But every now and again, I might downplay how therapeutic, the show is. I won't go into details, but, just you'll find yourself going on little rants and whatnot. And after a while, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Oh, I know what it is. I haven't done a show. So that's almost like it's the equivalent of an addict jonesing. It's the same thing.
Shit, man, it's got me, man. I don't got no control over it, man. I try to kick, man. That shit just be calling me, man. Be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it. Need help, man.
Okay, with that being said, obviously I'm an addict. Let's get into it. First and foremost, Happy New Year's Eve to everyone. Hope you're enjoying yourself, chilling, have some nice grub, whatever you're going to get into today, a gathering amongst friends, chilling at the house, watching football, whatever it may be. We got some good games going on right now. We got 3 good college games to watch, a little college basketball if you want to do that, enjoying the split screen. Got that school up north in Texas, again, Arizona, Duke. We got some nice, man, just competitive, enjoyable games to watch, and that's what you want at the end of the day. That's what you like out of your bowl games at the end of the year, different matchups, things you haven't necessarily seen all year, and then seeing those games collide and turn into something entertaining and fun to watch. A good way to bring the season to an end, to a finale, to a crescendo. And, we're a little ways off from that with the playoffs and eventually crowning a champion. We'll get into that shortly. But football-wise, I'm leaning towards college today. If I have time, I'll give a few thoughts on the NFL. I'll simply say that if I was a gambling man and I had chosen to gamble on the NFL, I might not have bill money. Horrible year for your boy. I'm not a big prediction guy, but everything I would have liked to have happened, 95% of that shit didn't happen. Horrible
What
year.
the hell did you just say?
Horrible year for me. NFL.
Nigga, please.
Now I might get down this year. I digress. Let's go here. How is everybody's celebration of Jesus' birthday? Quick thing, I won't go too deep into that. I didn't do much. I was chilling like I always do. I grilled that day. Sister came over, best friend came over, one of my nieces came over, kicked it for a minute. So I grilled that day. I'll elaborate on that later. I'll tell you what I grilled. I kept it very simple. And I asked this, I think, the last time I had a show, what y'all were going to do, I think, for Christmas, maybe New Year's, if it was going to be traditional or non-traditional. If you don't mind, for those that did participate, tell me what you did from a menu aspect for Christmas. And if you don't mind, what you're doing today for New Year's Eve and or tomorrow for the games. If you're going to do appetizers, if you're going to make some type of soup, if you're going with the traditional, greens, black-eyed pea. If you're going with that, I got mom's greens in there. I'm going to take her greens down and warm them up. Actually, I need to take them on out and get that done, but I got time. So I'm going to do that. And going back, let me stay focused as I'm over here looking at games. And this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Starting off here, just, getting us a little bit out the way that allow people to come in, read chat, get into a little bit of football, get my 2 cents out. Usual end of the year stuff. A lot of please don't touch the quarterback. I like to see the hit. I just want to see it. He definitely sold it. I got to see this right quick. Excuse me. I'm just wondering, was this really a roughing? Yeah. Okay. I digress. But I chose the grill. I did beef ribs for the first time. I did jerk shrimp, chicken thighs, wings, and some sliders, some little hamburger sliders. Kept it very simple. Didn't do a lot. Everything came out great. I liked the cook I got on the beef ribs. My first time making them. I didn't care for my seasoning. I used some Longhorns rub, and with that beef rib, the way it came out, I definitely needed a brown sugar element to counteract. Let me look at my to counteract the seasoning. That Longhorns rub, even though I've used it on other things and it's been fine, it came out salty on that beef rib. And plus, they weren't necessarily huge and really meaty. If they were, like crazy meaty like this, it wouldn't have mattered. But the way they were, it could have stood to been lighter, or I should have made my own rub and added some brown sugar to counteract that salty element. So the seasoning on it, I didn't care for. As far as the cook, they came out pretty good. I think that for what they are and what they cost, I'd like to get a hold of some that got, they got some real meat on them. I think that would be the best way to go with those. But I understand how to cook them now. I was disappointed in my seasoning, so I didn't care for the way that they came out. They were too salty for me. I mean, other people like they fine, but for me, that wasn't the expectation I had as far as what I thought they were going to taste like. So the cook came out fine. Because of the size of them, I should have seasoned them differently, but I mean, I'm sure other people that have done it before probably know, but the brown sugar in your rub is really necessary for beef ribs. Or at least it was in that case for me. That might have saved them as far as how they tasted. They were edible, but for me, I'm such a snob. I was severely disappointed in the way they came out for me. So I grilled for Jesus' birthday. I grilled. Kept it real simple. It's a little chill day like it normally is. Just a little chill day. It was cool. But if you don't mind, let me know how your fellowship went on that day, what you ate that day, and what you're going to make today, what you have made today and or tomorrow. All right, this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Special food, okay, another quick little food note before I jump into football. This is just kind of a show thing. I don't know if Feezy is in here, but just the latest on me trying things. I'm to the point. I'm trying to try different things. After you eat so much, I'm like, I want to try some different things, venture out a little bit. I'm not going to venture out too far, picky as I am. But I spoke about how I had some shallots, and they were good. I had some shallots in in some risotto. There was shallots in the risotto. It was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. So, just working some things in, you were able to cook it into the meal, so I wasn't bothered by that. And this is something Mac Feezy recommended because of my dislike of onions. And again, I'll use onion powder, but I dislike onions to the point where I won't put them in my dish. Obviously, I don't necessarily mind the flavor, but I have a serious issue with if I bite into an onion, it's like a landmine. Now I can't enjoy the rest of the meal. It's like when you go to the dentist and they tap that nerve and now you're in the chair nervous and gripping the chair and sweating because you think every time they do something, they're going to injure you or cause you discomfort. It's kind of like that. So that's where I'm at with the onion. But shallots, I was fine with that. And I recently, yesterday I had chicken piccata. Chicken piccata prepared for me, and it had shallots in it, which blended in. It didn't bother me. And capers were in it. I was extremely apprehensive about the capers, because capers are pickled. I don't care for things being pickled. I hate that vinegar taste. Quick little side note. I don't really do subs much, but had a Jersey Mike's sub. Got the Philly cheesesteak sub. You know me, I got it, no onions, extra peppers, just normal sub or whatever. Probably should have got extra provolone. The sub was disgusting, but this is why. And people, I guess, that are sub people, or you may frequent this establishment, maybe maybe it's accepted or liked or preferred by most people, not me. They pickle their peppers at New Jersey Mike's.
Something wrong? Yeah. It's just too bad you don't know what it is. Brother.
They pickle their fucking peppers. You're just being cheap. They're cheaper that way. You can preserve them longer. But even Subway doesn't do that. Even Subway gives you real green peppers. Y'all don't have to do that. That shit is so disgusting.
You must be on something.
That horrible pickled flavor, sweet ass, whatever you want to call it, pickled flavor, completely took over the whole damn sandwich. It was disgusting. I digress. But that's where my mind was as far as anything being pickled. But chopped up fine, put throughout the meal, everything working in concert, it was fine. Also, there was some lemon zest and things of this nature. So, it was actually very good. Actually, it was something different. Never had chicken piccata before. That was good. Tried capers, some lemon zest. That was new. So venturing out a little bit, trying a couple things. I'm still not to the point where I'm saying to myself, oh my God, I gotta have shallots. But in certain circumstances and with certain food chemistry, in certain dishes, if things are blended properly, I do submit, and I will subside to the fact that they're edible. They may even add to the dish and they don't bother me. I'll say that. But again, I still don't see myself saying, oh, this just doesn't taste right without the shallots. So I'm somewhere in between. But, they're edible. Pickled peppers and a damn Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Just saying all that to say that I was very apprehensive about the capers because they're pickled, but in the right amount, spread out, maybe counteracting it with the lemon zest perhaps did something. But it was actually good. It was actually good. So just throwing that out there. I know McFeezy will get a kick out of that. Yeah, McFeezy, I ate some capers. This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy that Ninja. All right, let's get into it again. We got some games going on today, but let me step back into the things that I didn't talk about as I missed shows. Wait a minute. After the setup, let me do a quick intro. Let me do quick intros right quick, and then I'll jump right into the football. We got my man 334 on the train. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard, man. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. I see you've been kicking it with the grands. One of the very few times I've seen that genuine smile on your face, sir. Good for you. We got my man Jungle Brother on the train. Jungle Brother, what is that, NYC? New York City? Of course it is. We got my man Jungle Brother on the train. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard, and I hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. Jungle Brother just did a clarify on the Jungle. I think it was I don't know what the number was, but he did some type of I don't know if it was top 20. I don't know what the number was, but he did a top 20, top 50 show, top 50 show, top 20 show with the greatest from South Central. Clarify on that. I wasn't able to stay in the entire time, but it was cool. The time that I was in there. Y'all look like y'all were having fun and had a nice little back and forth. We have Poetic Sins on the train. What up, Poetic Sins? Thank you for coming aboard. And again, I hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. Everybody speaking. 334 said, Ninja, I only did beef ribs once, and that was it. I don't like cooking them. I'll be honest with you, man. It was it's a slow process. For what they were, I probably didn't have to cook them as long as I did. I got a nice little bark on them. The texture was cool and everything, but again, they came out so salty, and I've had that rub before, so I know it wasn't all the rub. I guess some of it was the beef rib itself, but man, that thing was salty. I think brown sugar might have made it a little. With some brown sugar on it, man, I might have been able to enjoy it, but I would like to try it again with a healthy beef rib. I'd like to try it again with a nice size beef rib and see how it comes out. But if they're that thin, like the one that I had, they're going to cook down and everything. If they're like that, yeah, I'm probably good on that. If that's all I'm going to get out of it. I see just from that one attempt that I'd prefer, I'd like to have a nice damn sized beef rib. The shit you see when you look on the internet and they pull off the bone and the beef rib is big, you got meat on each side about like that. So I'd like for it to be like that. But the ones that I had, they're okay. It was a little bit of meat on them, but for what they were, the size they were, the thickness of the ones that I had, the seasoning wasn't right. I have to try it again just to make sure. I have to do it at least one more time, and then I'll decide if I'm going to fool with it again. I'm gonna try them one more time, but thank you for that. Maybe they might not be for me, to be honest. When I can just make a roast, I can keep it simple. Jungle Brother said, Congressional Black Caucus disapproves of your palate, sir. Motherfucker.
That motherfucker must have lost his goddamn mind.
That's funny, sir. That's funny.
You hear you? I hear you.
I'll accept my slightly different palate, but I'm good with it. I'm good with it. That's funny, Jungle Brother. Hey, Jungle Brother. That's funny. You're funny. Hey, so I'm just, I'm just trying a couple things here and there. You know how? Because if you're anything like me, do y'all watch the Food Network all the time and HGTV and all of that? So between that, watching Beat Bobby Flay and Chopped and all these other shows, you're gonna hear shallots and capers, and you're gonna hear that all the time. And for a while, I had no idea what a shallot was and didn't care to know. Then McFeezy let me know that was, it was basically a form of onion. And I said, oh, that's all I needed to know. I don't need it. It's an onion. I'm good. And again, he talked about how it wasn't the most potent of onions. And if I'm going to have an onion, that would be the way to go. But, you're funny, Jungle. You're funny. Jungle Butter said, capers, shallots.
Who raised you? Hey, who raised you? Hey, who raised you?
Hey, okay, y'all are funny. 334 said, capers with some big ass eyeballs. Harpo, who this nigga? You funny. Or who this ninja? You funny. Not bad. Not bad. Again, I can't see myself saying, oh, I have to have this, but Jungle Butter said it was an end of the year. It was an end of the year award, dubious award show. Okay. Hey, well done, sir. To you and the greatest.
Amen, preacher.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. That's a first down. Is that the quote? Look at him throwing help Texas flags. Oh, I tell you, the game's been pretty good, but there's been one overriding element I've seen in every game. I won't get into it. Man, y'all better not have thrown a flag for that shit. What is he supposed to do? Let the motherfucker tackle the quarterback? Man, eat a dick. God damn. What's he supposed to do? Let the motherfucker tackle the quarterback? Y'all got to stop with this shit, man. Jesus Christ, you can't fucking block nobody no goddamn more. That was just football. I guess you just need to stand in front of the motherfucker and let him run into you so you can get hurt or some shit. Jesus Christ, even if he barely taps him, he's still going to fall. He would have tackled the quarterback. I'm sorry. I digress. Let me get off TV. That's weak as hell, bro. What the hell you expect them to do? What the hell you expect them to do? That's weak as hell. I'm damn sure not a fan of that school up north, but that's weak as hell. God damn, you supposed to let him tackle the quarterback? It's a terrible call. I digress. 334 said, Ninja, that's the only time you will see me smile. I noticed. I almost said something in the comments, but I said I'm not gonna say it. When I saw that picture of you with the grand, I saw that smile. I said, boy, look at us, the grandkids. Boy, they change everything, boy. Them grandkids changed everything. Understandable. Spoil them and send them home. Spoil them and send them home. All right, let me bring y'all back around. Again, for me today, I'm going to make, I think I spoke about it before, I'm going to do those Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. I'm going to do those Philly cheesesteak egg rolls today while I watch the Ohio State University take on Miami, which I'll get into that shortly. Let me digress back to last week. But today, my mom's greens, Philly cheesesteak egg rolls, and probably some shrimp in a seafood boil, in a seafood boil style. Leaning that, keeping it simple. All right, let me get into this football. I got about a good hour, maybe a little bit less. I'm going to get ready for this game, prepare a couple things, chill out. Maybe make one more quick run. Maybe one more quick run. Matter of fact, I know I need to make one more quick run. Yeah, about an hour, I'm good. Okay, so games last week. I'm not going to get into the games that never really were a game. Alabama, Oklahoma. Should have did a review because I don't have the game fresh in my head. But again, well-played football game. And nice little back and forth. Honestly, looked like Alabama came unprepared. Yeah, see what happens after, bullshit penalties. What we got here? That was never there. And on top of that, they probably still called a hold. Now, honestly, if Arch Manning, if that was a roughing, then that was roughing. Oh, they called pass interference anyway. They actually called roughing the passer. I guess they're being consistent. Okay. That ninja's last name is January. I would apologize for watching the game, but shit, it's New Year's Eve. All right, so last week, Alabama, Oklahoma. Initially, it looked like Alabama didn't come out to play, weren't necessarily well coached. It was a nice little back and forth with Alabama pulling it out in the end. Now, I had Alabama in that game. I'm not going to get into the back and forth of the game. Two reasons. One, I don't have it fresh on my brain. I didn't bother to check it. And two, it's old at this point. You saw the game, but I felt before the game I was going with Alabama because I didn't think much of Oklahoma's quarterback. And I said beforehand in the show that I did speak about the games then. And my thoughts before the game were that either team that won, I felt was going to give Indiana a hard time. And I still feel this way. I was having a conversation with Sarge from A Soldier Story, a.k.a. Morris Day, a.k.a. Brenda's boyfriend from Family Matters. But I'm sorry, not Brenda. Laura's boyfriend from Family Matters. But we were discussing, some of the games coming up. And we have complete and total opposite thoughts on the upcoming Alabama and Indiana game. But let me finish where I'm at before I go there. But I felt Oklahoma or Alabama would give Indiana a hard time. I felt Alabama more so because of their offensive capabilities, and I didn't really believe in the quarterback that the usual. I'm going to hype up anybody who's white pundits. When they were caught. Any white quarterback on the team that's doing well, they're a Heisman Trophy candidate. That's just what they do. So he was, the hot guy for a minute after a couple of games. And, when he faltered, they got quiet. And, he's been that guy ever since. They got a little film on him. I said, okay, stop him from running, put the ball in his hands. He can run. He can throw that slant down the middle. He's pretty good at that, and he's decent at seam routes. That was pretty much it. Any other kind of throw, he had a very low percentage completing passes. So I felt Alabama had the advantage in that regard. I don't really want to get into all the back and forth about should they have been in and all that. I felt that was stupid. To me, you played the game against Florida State. You lost, but Florida State played their best game of the year. First game of the year at Florida State. After that, you go on a run through the SEC, including Georgia. And you lose, at the end of the year to Oklahoma, and I'm supposed to think you suck after that. It just doesn't work that way for me. I just think all that shit's goofy. Like, they're a battle-tested team, and any team coming out of the SEC has a distinct advantage to me because you actually had to play tough teams. And if you came out without any major injuries to some of your key and top players, you're not going to choke. Alabama's not going into Indiana thinking to myself, oh, my God, we're playing the number one team in the country with the Heisman Trophy winner. They don't give one single solitary flying fuck about that. They're just going to play football. So I think that matters. But since I'm talking about it anyway, I'm taking Alabama in that game. I think they're a better team. I don't really have a lot of verbiage for it. I think Alabama's a better team. I think they're much more battle-tested. I think that they've had to play a much tougher schedule, and they're prepared for a lot more than Indiana. I have no doubt in my mind that if things don't start out beautifully, they're not going to fall apart. And again, if Indiana is able to provide or put pressure on the quarterback and Alabama doesn't adjust by running the ball, it could go the other way. But I said this before Alabama played Oklahoma, and I'll say it now. I don't see a scenario. I don't see any scenario where Indiana blows out Alabama. I don't see that shit. And others, others have an opinion that's the complete antithesis of what I just said. I just don't see it. But somebody's going to be right, and we're going to see tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing Alabama play Indiana because I believe Indiana's in trouble. They wanted no parts of that. That is a terrible draw for Indiana. Terrible draw. I don't know what the pundits are saying. I don't know what the bullshit in the air is about. But if I had to guess, I'm sure they're hyping Indiana because the way the team makeup and the quarterback that they have, that's the type of thing that mainstream America loves. So I'm sure they're getting a lot of love. But this is a horrible matchup for Indiana. I've taken Alabama in this game, and it's not a lot of thought to me. If they lose, we'll come back on and I'll discuss it. But Indiana blowing out Alabama, Indiana's not the best team in the country. They might be ranked number one. They're not the best team in the country. More power to them. They did the same thing that we did, except even to more of a degree. They played a weak-ass schedule and got through it. They beat us at the end of the year, a very ugly game where both highly touted quarterbacks looked extremely average when they weren't able to throw the ball on time. That is not special to me. That's not elite to me. That's not next level to me. Who the hell can't run an offense when shit is on time and the receiver's running open? But when things don't go your way, when the game plan isn't going as planned, for lack of a better fucking way to describe the shit, when the game plan isn't going the way that you drew it up, when plays aren't on time, when receivers aren't running open, when you aren't able to sit in the pocket and survey the field and deliver the ball on time, what do you do then? Where's the adjustment? And what type of play can you make when the design of the play fails? Julian saying, nor I honestly don't even know his name. The quarterback for Indiana. Sorry for not knowing the Heisman Trophy winner's name. But, something Meyer, probably some shit like that. That sounds about right. But neither one of them have shown me that they're, again, when things are going smoothly, impressive to a degree. But to me, I judge quarterbacks, your ability to run the offense. But when things aren't going smooth, what do you do then? Can you extend the play with your legs? Can you find somebody open? Can you throw somebody open? Can you fit the ball in the crease when things aren't going according to plan? Nothing about Indiana scares me. They're a solid team, but nothing about them scares me. I'm not like, oh my God, look, Indiana's coming. I think it's going to be a good game. They don't suck or anything like that. They're a solid team. But way, way, way too much is being made about how good they are. They have the number one ranking. But when we were number one, I said that was bullshit then. To me, undefeated Texas A&M not being number one in the SEC, regardless of what you think their schedule was, a so-called weak or weaker SEC schedule is still tougher than anything that we played and anything that Indiana played. That's not even an argument. So rankings to me, the rankings are done by these same dumbass people that tell me every year that all the quarterbacks they like to date their daughter are the best ones in the country. And every year they're wrong, and there's no accountability for that shit. Every fucking year. Same dumb shit. I bet he did let the ball go. Dude held on to his leg. That motherfucker twisted him up. I bet he did let the damn ball go. That looked uncomfortable. 2:42 left in the game. Oh, Duke is actually down. And Duke has the ball. Is he walking? Okay. If he's not hurt, it's all good. I bet that motherfucker was scared. I apologize, but Alabama, again, handling business, having to play Oklahoma again. They get their revenge, get their so-called monkey off their back, and now they're getting a chance to play Indiana. I'll say this about the playoffs. And again, this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. I'll say this at least this year. Last year, I felt like they did a terrible job picking the teams, and that showed in the matchups. To me, I wasn't excited for a lot. The first 2 rounds were garbage. I wasn't excited for a lot of the matchups. They put a lot of teams in that didn't belong and didn't have a chance, in my opinion. This year, in large part, in my opinion, because they put in the proper amount of SEC teams, the matchups have been much more enjoyable to watch and much more of an excitement and anticipation factor, at least for me. So I've enjoyed that thoroughly. The matchups that we have now coming up, we have Ohio State versus Miami. I thought it was going to be Texas A&M. I'm about to get into that game. I have a lot more to say about that one. That one I remember thoroughly. I'm about to get into that one, but we have the Ohio State University taking on Texas A&M. I'm sorry. I still say the game I thought was going to happen. Taking on Miami, the U. My apologies to fans of the U. We have Oregon taking on Texas Tech. We have Alabama taking on Indiana. And we have Ole Miss taking on Georgia. Those are all great games. Those are all worth watching. Everybody's going to watch that shit if you're a fan of football. I'm not going to give you too much credit for doing the right thing, but college football playoffs, see what happens when you actually pick teams that should be in it? The matchups will naturally and organically turn into something that most people would like to see. Now, the one thing I wish you wouldn't have done on a personal level, I don't think any SEC team should have been matched up for each other or against each other in the beginning. I don't like Ole Miss having to play Georgia again. They played them once. It was a great game with Georgia winning in the end. It was a great game. I hate that they're playing each other first because they're two of the better teams in this shit, if you ask me. They should go up against some of these other squads and just make it a little more interesting. But, again, that's going to be a great game. Again, Ole Miss taking on Georgia in a alleged neutral field. Are they playing in Georgia like they always are, or did they switch it up? I honestly didn't look, but I'll check that. But we got Ole Miss taking on Georgia, Oregon taking on Texas Tech, Alabama taking on Indiana, and today we have Ohio State taking on Miami. Those are 4 good games in the college playoffs. That's the expectation when you put in the so-called best teams in the country. That's the expectation, is seeing matchups like that every week until you dwindle it down to the championship match. That's what you should see. That's what we should get. So I think they did a good job in that regard. I'm at least looking forward to seeing the games. Great job by Alabama defeating Oklahoma. I like them against Indiana. I apologize for the lack of details in the game. I felt like they were able to execute their game plan. Again, I think for me, and what I'm hearing from, some of the Alabama fans I'm around, for me, I don't think it's a matter of not being able to run the ball. I think there's a big difference in not being able to run the ball and choosing not to run it as much as some people would like you to. And there's an argument that maybe they should run the ball more. I'll listen to that. But I don't subscribe to Alabama not being able to run the ball. I think they simply choose to move the ball in other ways. And if the quarterback is protected, the offense is effective. It might not be some people's cup of tea. Obviously, not some people's cup of tea, judging by their reaction. But when ran properly, it works. And you're in the second round of the college football playoff. And, there are a lot of worse things to complain about. So, I'm just focusing on the game that's upcoming. I'm not interested in, you know, this team did that, and I think they're this, and I think they're going to fall apart. Football. Alabama taking on Indiana, a team that went through an SEC schedule and did quite well. And based on a loss at the end of the year, it took 3 turnovers for them to lose that game against Oklahoma. Then they found their way back to come back and beat that same team in Oklahoma, if I remember correctly. When we played Indiana, our defense is legit. That's the one thing I can say with my chest. I love our defense. Our defense is legit. To only score 10 points with that type of offensive talent is absurd, unacceptable, and infuriating as a fan, especially a fan that remembers what that offense could do when Ryan Day was calling the plays. $10 points because we're trying to quarterback sneak with Julian Sand, who's not built like that, because for some weird reason we're trying to force the ball to the tight end. And because, and again, I'm ranting slightly, but just stay with me. My issue, and the reason why I am very critical of Sand, and I point out all of these things that are never going to be pointed out by anybody else, looking at our week schedule, talking about how great he is, and then when he plays poorly, it's quiet as a fucking church mouse. No. The reason why Aaron Nolan was dismissed and never even given a real shot is because this man was supposed to be by far and away better than him. All I keep hearing is, oh my God, he's so mobile. He's really quick. He has his legs. He has a rocket arm. He can throw it down the field. He can fit it in seams. And I'll tell you what, this guy is a film rat. And he knows the offense backwards and forwards better than the coach. So when he comes out of the play, he knows where to go with the ball. He knows where everybody is. And I could accept that, but why is it on that possible game-winning drive? Because, again, we lost because there was some bad play calling, bad decisions made. If he was the guy that I'm being told that he is, we win that game against Indiana. That's my frustration. If you're going to dismiss Aaron Nolan like that, I need to see everything you were telling me. His arm is okay. He doesn't have a rocket. His legs are okay. He's not quick. If they're not looking at him, can he take off? Absolutely. He's not quick. He's pretty fast. And decision-making. He knows where to go with the football. Why didn't he know to go with that goddamn ball on that rollout when the running back, not Bo Jackson, but I think it was 27, was wide open and all he had to do was dump the ball off? First down, first and goal, in all likelihood, we score. He once again tries to force the ball to the tight end, and not only that, he was late. How can he be late with the ball? He knows where everyone's at. He knows exactly where to go with the football. If you're going to go to the tight end, you have to go to him as soon as you come out of your fucking break. The instant you came out of your break, you would have had to fire that ball to him and throw him open, but you needed to see him first. Because, of course, you know where everybody's fucking at. That's why you had to see him first. The fuck out of here. If he was half the guy he was reported to be, we don't even lose that damn game. So I'm not going to get into the Miami game yet. Let me go back. Miami, Texas A&M. What I said before the bowl games, I say this every year. If you want to criticize a coach, if you want to microanalyze a coach, if you want to scrutinize a coach, when it's bowl season and you have all of this time to prepare for your opponent and your team shows up and they're not ready, that is on you. How dare you as a coach? You had a lot of time, bro. And on the part of Texas A&M, Miami to a degree, but I already knew they were going to be limited on offense because they have Carson Beck, who the nation and the commentators still love, even though he isn't worth a goddamn. But again, complexion for the protection for the collection. For the last 2 seasons, all I've heard, Carson Beck, one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and he's going to make a great pro.
You liar! You
Fine bitch. This motherfucker's lying. You lying motherfucker, stop.
His play doesn't warrant any of that commentary, but, you know, do you think? Do you think? Texas A&M taking on Miami. At Texas A&M. Now, were there a couple of calls here and there? Of course. And again, let's not do the simple-minded shit. Oh, stop making excuses. I point out all the facts. You know, I'm not simple-minded. My brain works. So I'm able to point out bad calls and talk about how a team still should have won. I'll do both. I'll let the simple-minded leave things out because you're trained. Couple of calls. There was one instance where God is Concepcion, their top receiver, clearly got picked up and body slammed late out of bounds. No call, because that would have helped him in that drive. Another play where the running back, that their starting running back, was caught up in a pile. Play was dead. I believe the ref had already blew the whistle. Miami player came over and popped him about 3 or 4 times when he couldn't move his leg. He hobbled out of the game. Didn't get to play for the rest of the day. Didn't get a flag on that play either. Interesting. I don't mind aggressiveness, but just don't call things one way and not call them the other way. Now, with all that being said, Texas A&M had no goddamn business losing the game. I'll point out all details. Offensively, defensively, both teams, excellent job. Excellent job. I have no criticism for Texas A&M's defense. They did what they were supposed to do. That team was held to 3 points for an entire football game until late in the fourth quarter. And the points were scored because the running back broke out. I was disgusted when I looked up and saw the damn highlight reel, and they tried to make it look like Carson Beck had anything to do with that fucking drive that won the game for them. He didn't do a goddamn thing. That was all the running back. And they actually, when they showed the highlight, they didn't show one run from the running back. They showed the talented receiver going around on the end around, and they showed Beck dump the ball off twice. The entire drive was sponsored by that running back. He won the game for them. Without him, they lose, period. And they took him completely out of the highlight. That's why I hate that. I can't stand the way they cover sports. The people in charge of sports ruin them. The people in charge of sports ruin sports. They fucking ruin it with their coverage and their bullshit-ass rules, trying to help out players they've decided they like on a personal level. But I digress. Back to football. From a coaching aspect, Texas A&M, from an offensive perspective, terrible job being ready for the game when you had that long to prepare for it. Miami, terrible job bringing in Carson Beck knowing he couldn't play and being limited. The one thing I'll give Miami's coaches is they would not allow Carson Beck to beat them. They gave up on drives and ran the ball rather than let him throw it because that's how much he sucks. They didn't allow him to do anything that could hurt them. We're going to hand it off. We're going to do dump offs. We're not going to do anything special with you because there's nothing special about you. They hid Carson Beck the entire game. So for that, believe it or not, offensive game plan, OC for Miami,
good.
It was smart to hide your horrible quarterback. That was smart.
Good.
Very intelligent. Because if they would have let him throw, he probably would have threw them out the game. Now, on the other side, for me, I had no idea and I didn't see Miami being able to put the type of pressure on Reed that they did. I never saw that coming. Great job by Miami and their defense. And again, let me make sure, let me go in order. Texas A&M, defensively.
That boy is good.
Great fucking game. You shut them down. You didn't give up much. Even when you gave up some yards in the rushing game, you never broke. You bent. You didn't break. You didn't let them in the end zone. You created turnovers, if I remember correctly. Not a lot. I think y'all maybe got one turnover. But I don't think Beck turned the ball over because they didn't allow him to. But you bent. You didn't break. You kept them out the end zone. And their kicker choked multiple times, which is another reason why Texas A&M kept them off of the board. So great job by Texas A&M's defense as well.
Oh, it's good.
Texas A&M, your defense. Defensively.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
Defensively.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
Head coach, OC, and everybody in charge of the offensive game plan and or strategy, whatever you chose to implement in that game, whoever had a hand in that, whoever took part in that, whoever had a say-so in
You're
that.
robbing us, you son of a bitch.
I don't understand.
You're robbing us, you son of a bitch.
I don't understand. I didn't see Miami being able to put that type of pressure on Reed, and they gave him hell. as I've learned after the fact, they have 2 first-round defensive ends, and it shows. Makes me wonder what the hell's been going on with them all year. If they had a real quarterback, they might really be a nasty team, but Miami's defense did an excellent job of putting pressure on Reed and the offense of Texas A&M. No adjustment. After they saw that it was they had a hard time protecting Reed, there was no adjustment. There was no type of adjustment made to give him time or to use his legs or to run the ball. Again, when they did try to run the ball, their starting running back got hurt, and maybe the second guy wasn't as I don't know if he really got the opportunity. I felt like Texas A&M probably should have ran the ball a little bit more to get that pass rush off of him. But they never found a way to get that pass rush off of Reed. They didn't have a hot route. They didn't try to run some screens. They didn't run the ball at it. They didn't use his legs and run him. They didn't find a way to adjust and hurt Miami for blitzing the way that they were blitzing. They didn't really find a way to do it for 4 quarters. Now, in the 4th quarter, they did put together a nice drive. I'm trying not to be so sporadic, but let me just stay where I was at. This is about right. Offensively for Texas A&M, you can't score 3 points in the game. You can't do that. You can't. Now, did I think there was a lot? I hate the face guarding that's allowed, where cornerbacks aren't even looking for the football. They're just running through the receiver, and that's acceptable now. It's amazing. Number one, if you look for the football, you probably have a damn interception. But there was a time when you actually had to make a play on the football. And I get, if you have perfect time, and I get that, but they are allowed, these cats are allowed. Look at Duke pulling the game out. Nice. Malik Murphy. Lord Jesus, boy. That's the other side of the portal. But he still had the right to make his decision, make his bread, and hopefully he can go somewhere else where they can play a little bit better than that. The team you were on made it to a bowl game, played on New Year's Eve, and they won, sir. Gave everybody a nice game to watch. And you were on a team that was in the Wolverine position for the entirety of the season, sir. I digress. Very disappointed in Texas A&M's offense. So, no adjustment to the pressure of Miami. Struggled the entire game to move the ball. 3 damn points. On the side of Texas A&M's defense, gave up 2 huge runs that sealed the game. Well, that allowed Miami to get the go-ahead score. Miami scored because of the running back for Miami, who did an excellent job of breaking out 2 huge runs. That's what won the game, not Carson Beck. Maybe if you didn't see the game and you saw those dumbass highlights I saw, you would never know what actually happened. The people that put that together, boy, y'all are horrible. At least give us some semblance of what actually happened in the damn game. Great job by that running back getting them in position. They take the lead. Texas A&M gets the ball back, works their way down the field, finally makes an adjustment, gives Reed time. He picks the defense apart, takes him down the field. Now, first turnover for Reed. He was running to the left, tried to throw the ball away. That's on him. You got to protect the football. Have I seen situations where you would get a bullshit call and call that forward pass? Of course, I've seen it before. I've seen worse being called a forward pass. But in that situation, eat the sack, bro. You're done. You go into the left. You didn't get away in time. You didn't move fast enough. You didn't run out of bounds. Tuck the ball, hit the ground. Next play. The other interception, the ball was tipped. But right here at the end of the game, the first one was him being careless. You can't get rid of that ball, man. Take the sack. Second one, the ball was tipped. I don't think most people remember that the ball was tipped. That's not on him. But on this game-winning drive, that last play, that is 100% on you. And the reason why I was taking Texas A&M in this game is because I like and believe in Reed, still do way more than I do Carson Beck. And I felt like Reed at one point would make a play to give Texas A&M what they needed from an offensive aspect. And I felt I was seeing that at the end of the game. I thought if they went to overtime, that it was going to be over with for Miami. Last drive, you're in position. I with the OCs, for me, there seems to be your top, if you design something for him, and I think I saw many games and so many teams that to me in the ball, really good football on today. Duke and Arizona State came down to the wire, Duke being victorious, 9 minutes left in this Tejas, that school up north game, 3-point lead for that school up north. It's been some nice football. Nebraska and Utah is out of control, with Utah having a 38-14 lead at the moment, but we do have an entire fourth quarter. I know y'all watching this shit, but that's my excuse to be able to glance over here and watch football. I can pretend like I'm doing an update that y'all already have and shit. It's kind of like reading stats that anybody can get. Back to that play. It seems to me in a lot of teams, a lot of different games, a lot of different situations, to me, it seems like they're really forcing the ball to their tight ends a lot. So many tight end screens and wide receiver screens out to so many of those damn plays. And in that situation, and I get getting the ball to a bigger target, but it seems like they're really forcing the ball to tight ends a lot. Now, with all that being said, if you're reading that situation, you got to get air under that ball and it goes out of bounds. It goes to your tight end or it goes out of bounds. But that ball can't be short. It can't. But again, I don't necessarily like that play call. And again, he scrambled. He stepped up in the pocket. He saw the play. He made the throw. You have to put some air up under that thing. Either he catches it or that shit flies out of bounds. But that is a horrible, and I mean a horrible way to lose the game. And again, with 3 turnovers and everything they did wrong, they still had a chance to go in overtime right there at the end of the game. He just didn't make the play. So Miami did win the game. Their defense played excellent, and a lot of that had to do with mistakes that Texas A&M and Reed made. Kickers shanking kicks, both kickers shanking kicks. Miami did win the game, but Texas A&M did a lot to lose it. My entire point in that is I'm not overly impressed with Miami. As crazy as this sounds to most, I was much more worried. I was much more concerned with playing Texas A&M as opposed to Miami. I was much more concerned with that matchup. I'm cool with this matchup. This is a much better matchup for us. If we can keep our quarterback clean, if he's half of what I've been told he is, if he's half of it, we should have absolutely no problem because our defense is legit. And our defense and our defensive coach should understand the only thing that team has is their running game. They have Carson Beck if he's clean and he can make a simple throw. But Carson Beck is not going to pick you apart. He doesn't even know how to. He doesn't have that ability. And against our defense, he would be guaranteed to turn that damn ball over. So they probably won't let him do it. All we have to do is stop the run. And all our quarterback has to do is be half of what he's been projected to be. And we'll be fine. For us, this is a great matchup. Unless Miami can run the ball and get pressure on our quarterback. That's the key. If Miami can find a way to get pressure to our quarterback, I think he'll fall apart. We only got 10 points in the last game, and I don't think that Indiana put a little bit of pressure on them and confused them to a degree. But Miami apparently has the ability to do the same thing, if not to a higher degree, with those players. So we'll see what we do from a blocking aspect. But Sand has been clean all year, patting the ball, making sandwiches, putting mayonnaise on it. Battle tested. We'll see. We'll see. But again, because it's Miami, I'm a lot more confident. Mainly because, again, I believe in our defense and I don't believe in Carson Beck. I'm not confident he can do anything. So keys for us is keeping Sand clean and stopping the run of Miami. For Miami, they have to, not need to, not want to. They have to run the ball, and they have to put pressure on our quarterback. And again, and they really, you know what? They need to stop our run as well. Because if they put it on our quarterback, that's not a good thing, despite the commentary. So same thing for Miami. If they stop our run and put it on the quarterback, that gives them a better opportunity to turn the ball over. If they allow us to run the ball, we can hide our quarterback. I don't know if our coach is going to do that, and I don't know how. I think that Miami, they have to hide back against us. If they were worried about Texas A&M's defense, I would have to think they're going to continue to try to hide back unless they can find something within the scheme, that he's comfortable or they're comfortable in him making those throws, and that doesn't appear to be much, to be a so-called veteran top-tier quarterback. So I like this matchup for us. We just simply need to keep our quarterback clean. We need to run the ball, keep pressure off of him, and we need to stop their run. And we do that, we should beat the living hell out of them. We will only get in trouble if Miami can run the ball and put some pressure on our quarterback. If they can do both or one of the two, it could get interesting. So I'm looking forward to that, but I like us this evening in that particular game. As Texas gets in the end zone against, nice little back and forth, boy. Nice little back and forth. Both of these defenses are in the Wolverine position as well. But it's aesthetically pleasing, especially to the average fan. I digress. I like us against Miami. Those are my thoughts. And Texas A&M in that game against Miami. Reed in that last play, simply, you got to get the ball up. But as a coaching staff, horrible job.
Sorry.
You had a long time to get ready for that game, and you weren't offensively prepared. Your defense did everything they were supposed to do. You have to do better than that with the talent that you had, the quarterback that you had. You had to find a way to manufacture points. Probably should have ran the ball more with that defense. And even when they tried to run the ball, you had to find they can't be able to put pressure on your quarterback and stop the run like that. You were getting your ass kicked from a scheme and design standpoint as a coaching staff. So Texas A&M did a horrible job of getting ready for a team that you had 2 to 2.5 weeks to prepare for. Horrible job.
What was that? What was that?
Coaching staff, offensive coaching staff for Miami and Texas A&M.
Rotten bugs! You're all garbage! All of you! Struggling.
Both defenses for both teams.
Good.
Good job. Good job. All right, so that's what we have coming up in these games. So today we have Ohio State, Miami. I've given you my thoughts on them. Tomorrow, let me go ahead and get into those, and then I'll jump into the chat. Oregon, Texas A&M. I'm sorry, Texas Tech. I have to be perfectly clear and transparent. I haven't watched either one of these teams enough to give you a definitive opinion. Oregon taking on Texas Tech. I'll keep it simple. I think Oregon's going to be able to score more points than Texas Tech. I hear the Texas Tech's defense is legit, and Oregon's defense is not as good as it should be with their coach being a defensive guy and with him being so highly touted. Their defense still leaves something to be desired. So we'll see what happens from a scoring standpoint. Texas Tech is supposed to have a legit defense. I haven't watched them enough to have a definitive opinion. They stopped BYU, but that was BYU. At the end of the day, I believe in Dante Moore more than I do the quarterback of Texas Tech, simply because I've seen him more. I haven't seen a lot from either one of these teams this year. So for me, this is the game that I truly can't be definitive and demonstrative about. But give me Oregon just because I like their quarterback and his ability to make plays more. But keep in mind, that's what I felt about Texas A&M. So take that for what it's worth. Alabama taking on Indiana. Offensively, you know what? I'm curious. Just let me check. I'm just going to check something. I'm just curious. Interesting. Oh, so I can't. Let me see if I can do that. I'm curious. I really need to know this. I really need to know this. Okay. I thought so. Okay. 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 I just need to see something right quick. Let me just check this right quick. Just making sure. That's what I thought. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. And I didn't know this beforehand, but again, I'm just going off of looks. Just from a production standpoint, did y'all know that Ty Simpson's numbers are better than the quarterback for Indiana? He threw for his yards were in the 2000s. Ty Simpson threw for 3,500. Ty Simpson has more touchdowns and I think fewer interceptions, maybe a couple more, but he has more touchdown throws. Like his year statistically was better than the quarterback for Indiana in a much tougher league with a much tougher schedule. I know coverage is one thing, but that's, again, the reason I don't really care for sports coverage. I'm not saying Indiana's not a good team, but this is a terrible matchup for them. This is a terrible matchup for them, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Maybe Indiana has something I don't know about, but in my opinion, I think this is a horrible fucking matchup for Indiana. I think Alabama's battle tested. I like Alabama's quarterback more than I like Indiana's quarterback, regardless of the trophy that he has, because I'm more impressed with what Alabama's quarterback did and the schedule that quarterback had to play. The time that Indiana's quarterback played a team with a good defense or a pretty good defense, he mustered 14 points. More than us, but that's special. If Indiana's defense can pressure Alabama, then it's going to be a problem. If they can get to Ty Simpson and Ty Simpson can't run or adjust or buy time, then this could lean towards Indiana in Indiana's favor. But, man, I don't see it. I see a team that's battle-tested and has played much tougher competition. Georgia twice, Oklahoma twice. Everybody else they had in that schedule. What, LSU, Vanderbilt, Tennessee? Man, get the fuck out of here. I just think that, again, and I think that this is going to be what coaching's all about. We're gonna see what type of game plan both of these coaches can put together because you've had all the time in the world. This is going to be about coaching, game plan, and execution. Players play. The coaches should put them in a position to maximize their talents and put them on display in this game. But give me Alabama. I think they're a better team. They played in a tougher league with a quarterback that has done more against much more tougher circumstances and tougher teams. I didn't know that ahead of time, but in my mind, I'm like, I don't think there's any way he outplayed them. And he hasn't. I know the coverage is a lot worse for them, and the coach sucks, and I hate him, and get him out of here, and we shouldn't be here, and all this woe is me shit as you're in the playoffs in the second round acting like it's a goddamn tragedy. Not all of y'all, but some. The sky isn't falling. And I like this 11-3 Alabama team more than that 13-0 Indiana team. Again, they don't suck, but give me Alabama in that game because I think they're a better fucking team. I'm not even really going to get into a lot more talk. We'll just see the game. We'll watch the game. If Indiana's able to put pressure on them and shut them down, because Alabama doesn't depend on the run. So if you stack up, stop the run, that's not really going to do shit to their offense. And again, I think Alabama can run the ball. They just choose not to. And do I think Indiana can bow up and shut their run down? Not necessarily, no. No, I don't. But, I mean, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good game, but just some of the things I've heard. Now, of course, me and ABM disagree. He thinks he takes Indiana in this game. We got a little $20 bet on it. That isn't much, but he has Indiana in this game. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I like Alabama in that game. I just get off of it and keep it pushing at that. Give me Alabama in that game. Gave you my thoughts on the game tonight. Gave you my thoughts on Oregon and Texas Tech. Ole Miss and Georgia. Man, if you talk about a pick'em. If there was ever a pick'em game, this is a pick'em game. But I know I want to win. I hate Georgia, but they're a good team. Give me Ole Miss just because the last game they played was a nice back and forth. I really wasn't even mad at either squad. It's just Georgia just ended up winning the damn game. It was a good game, but Ole Miss was really moving the ball up and down the field the entire game until the fourth quarter. So we'll see what adjustments are made. We'll see what happens in this game. But this is a very good matchup. I hate they're playing each other again this early, but it's going to be a great game. I like the fact that this is a night game tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Ole Miss taking on Georgia. Sugar Bowl, so New Orleans. No, Sugar Bowl, right? Sugar Bowl's New Orleans, right? So they're New Orleans. And so, yeah, you know what? That's kind of neutral then. So they're not playing in Georgia for a change. Maybe the officiating will be even for a change or regular level, even, maybe. But this should be interesting. Give me Ole Miss. I just like them as a team. I'm just not a fan of Georgia. It could go either way. But I just like Ole Miss on a personal level. I like what they can do offensively. They have a good defense. And I think if they, unlike a lot of these other teams that are forcing the ball to average tight ends, I think if Ole Miss uses their tight end in this game as a so-called X factor, it could really hurt Georgia. And I think they'd be smart to take advantage of that matchup problem that he will cause in almost any scenario. So give me Ole Miss in this game, just being able to outscore Georgia in the end. I think this is probably going to come down to the fourth quarter like it did in that first matchup. So give me Ole Miss, but Georgia, they're going to be ready. They're going to be well coached. They're going to be prepared. Their defense is going to try to take away what Ole Miss does, but they tried that last time, and until the fourth quarter, Ole Miss moved the ball up and down the field. And Ole Miss just has to be ready for that adversity. You know, that play here or there that doesn't get called, that's going to happen. You just have to be prepared. You have to be ready to score points and play through it. So it's going to be interesting. On a personal level, I love, outside of Ohio State winning it all, I'd like to see, outside of us, I'd love to see Ole Miss win it all just so Lane Kiffin could watch a team that he walked away from win everything. If it's not going to be us, I'd rather be them just for that reason. Give me Ole Miss in that game, but either way, man, it's going to be a really good game. I hate they got to play each other. It would have been nice to see Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas Tech, Georgia. It would have been nice to see some shit like that. I mean, Texas Tech and Georgia wasn't going to happen because they were both top seeds, but it would have been nice to see this shit, you know, just switched up a little bit, scramble that shit a little bit. But looking forward to those games, man. I'm not going to venture too far into all the rest of these bowl games that we have. No, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to venture off into that at all. Going to let that go. But looking forward to it, man. And if nothing else, I hope that we get what we've gotten out of two out of the three games today, maybe 3 out of the 4. Because even the Vanderbilt game was fun to watch, even though they lost in the end. The Tennessee game was fun to watch, even though they lost in the end. Outside of Utah beating the hell out of Nebraska, who's had a very disappointing year, pretty good football. Even this game with that school up north, it's a nice football game, man. So if nothing else, maybe we get to watch a nice competitive football game, 27-31, 5 minutes left in the game. Tejas has the ball and the lead. Interesting. As a matter of fact, there's no reason for me to have the screen. That game's a blowout. Let's just knock the screen down. Might as well watch the one game that's worth looking at. Wrong channel. Which channel was that game on? Was that right? Can't remember. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. All right. Once again, this is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, That Ninja. Let's get into the chat room. Where are we at here? Jungle Brother said, if you would have done this show 2 weeks ago, you would have been nominated for the Pumpkin Pie Award. No, I'm sorry. The Pumpkin Pie Palette Award. The Pumpkin Pie Palette Award. Okay. That's funny. That's funny.
Oh, sorry. That's not right.
I'm sorry. On the way out. Texas A&M. And Oklahoma. I won't mention Tulane and James Madison. Well, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, James Madison, and Tulane. Valiant effort, but you fell short.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
Duke, great win over Oregon State. Arizona State, rather. Great win today by Iowa. Surprised they beat Vanderbilt. They're moving the ball up and down the field on them. But a fun game to watch. Great job by Iowa.
Good.
Tennessee loses in the end. Who the hell they play again? Illinois. Tennessee loses in the final seconds on a field goal, mainly because of that turnover in their own territory that gave Illinois an easy score. Not doing enough on offense. That coach is very underwhelming, but he flies under the radar. The Brisket Salesman drops another bowl game to very little criticism, as far as I know anyway. Great win by Illinois.
That boy is good.
And while I'm at it, as I'm drawing a blank, trying to remember who I just got done watching. No, that's everybody. Okay. And to all the teams that dropped their games today, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Arizona State, you too can get the special treatment.
What's the letter? What's the letter? What's the letter of the day? The letter of the day is L.
Now we'll get into the chat room. See what we got in the chat. As I'm getting ready to watch the Ohio State University take on the U. Oh, that's right. Where we at? We on Jungle Brothers chat. Pretty good football, man. Looking forward to it. Decent, good day of New Year's Day games. Good day of New Year's Day games. I'm chilling today. Got my workout in to make some food, enjoy some football. Perhaps I'll eat some more chicken piccata.
Who raised you?
Perhaps. Jungle Brothers said, if you would have done this show 2 weeks ago, you would have been nominated for the Pumpkin Pie Palette Award.
Hey, slow down. Watch it, watch your speed. Hey, slow down. Watch it, watch your speed.
Stand down, Jungle Brother. 334 said, AKA the beige one. Yep, the beige one, sir. Exactly. We have the greatest from South Central on the train. Thank you for coming aboard, sir. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. The greatest is on the train. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard, man. We got Sluggo the motherfucking Ham on the train. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard. Hey, enjoy your vacay and changing the weather, sir. Enjoy Florida, sir. Enjoy Florida. Enjoy Florida. Good question, 334. Where at in Florida? Hopefully the southern part where the weather's good and the people are more ethnic. Hell no, 334. We need him. 334 said, give us Caleb Downs back. Hell no, we need him. The way our quarterback, the way our offense is going to struggle, we need this defense to be top tier. And Caleb Downs is one of the key reasons that defense is top tier. 334 said, wait a minute. Ohio State has a running back named Bo Jackson? Blasphemy. Yes, we do, sir. Yes, we do.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's not blasphemy. That's good for us because he's a good running back.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you, sir. Stand down. Don't hate. Don't hate. Coming aboard the train to his usual bomb drop for slapping the sauce out of his wife's hands when she tried to apply it to my ribs. Real talk, true story. I give you none other than the very critical and honest and truthful Philadelphia Eagle fan, the great Sidney Jackson. What's going on, sir? Thank you for coming aboard. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far. And again, you'll always get that bomb drop for doing your civic duty that day.
Amen, preacher! Amen, preacher!
I believe that thing's still on mute. Thank you for coming aboard, Sidney Jackson. Hope you are enjoying the ride thus far, sir. Coming aboard the train is a man that was here for my very first show. Slow down, T. Coming aboard the train is a man that was here for my very first show. Continues to ride the train to this day. Coming aboard the train with his traditional evening.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
Merry New Year. And of course, that is the famous line by the great Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. Merry New Year. Happy. In this country, we say Happy New Year. You know what? I'm not going to do the scene right now, but let's continue with the chat because I have to get ready for this pigskin contest with the Ohio State University versus the U. Should be interesting. I know they're harping on that championship game from many moons ago, but that has nothing to do with this game. Now, if Cam Ward was a part of this Miami team, oh, yeah. I'd be concerned because they have way more talent on that team than they did when he was there. And they have a defense that with a Cam Ward, if they had Cam Ward on this team with that freshman, that running back, that defense that can make plays, shit. Oh, RIP to my man that played Clay Davis. I saw that he passed. Shit. RIP, sir. RIP. Let me continue. Sidney Jackson said, what's crazy is that Lane at LSU is not a guarantee to win at all. And LSU is far less patient than the Nabiscos at Ole Miss. And again, Sidney Jackson, that's a great point. But let's talk about it. I got a minute. Got a second to bring that up, but I have to make sure that is heard and understood. But a great point.
Amen, preacher.
Let's talk about that. Now, I will say that, and I've said this every year, I think the LSU has some of the best talent in the country and that any competent coach could win there. I've said that on multiple occasions. Now, with that being said, he had a great thing going at Ole Miss. He had 2 young quarterbacks. He has a team that can win it all. And he left for a change of scenery because it had nothing to do with money. And with the portal, recruiting and your location isn't as big a factor as it has been. Now, do I think that they have crazy talent at LSU and it was squandered by Brian Kelly? Yes, I do. Do I think that talent was squandered by Nussmeier at quarterback? Yes, I do. But if I'm Lane Kiffin, no way I leave my team. And if I do, I have to finish that year out. And if I can't finish that year out and then go to LSU, I'm not going. But it's not guaranteed. And he established something at Ole Miss and left. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. And again, to me, for him, it's all about, in a sense, of what he has to tell the kids. In a sense of what he has to tell the kids, it's all about money and what I can do to get you to the NFL. Because he can't talk to the kids about integrity. He can't do that shit. So that's got to be his recruiting pitch from now on. I can get you to the league. I can get you this much money, and I'm going to allow you to showcase your skills on my team. That's all he can talk about. He can't bring up, do this for your team. Bullshit. He can't do that. Now with a straight face. Little things like that are what, it is what it is. I just think in his case, especially now, he really has to be straight up about what it is. I'll give you this much money. I'm going to use you like this. He can't say anything to a kid that comes to him and says, I want this amount of money, and I want to be used in this percentage of plays. Or, coach, how are you going to use me? That's very important to me. Could you break down and show me the way that you're going to use me in your offensive set? I watch you when you coach Ole Miss. Am I going to be this guy or this guy? Because I want to be this guy. So he's going to get a lot of that, and rightfully so because of what he's done. Man, leaving a team as good as Ole Miss is crazy work, as the kids say nowadays. Yeah, but I agree, Sidney. Sidney Jackson said, has an SEC team won a bowl game outside of the playoffs? I don't think so. Tennessee lost. Vanderbilt lost. Somebody else, one of them other SEC teams lost a damn game too. Who was it? Somebody else. I think all of them have lost. To be honest with you. I know that flies against everything I said with Alabama and Indiana, but still give me Alabama. It's not like they're getting their ass kicked. But yeah, they've all lost. Tennessee, goofy coach. Vanderbilt, when the game's straight up and you don't get a call here or there, shit's rough. Who was the other team? Who else lost today? This guy done saying that shit. Somebody else lost. Who the hell was it? Was it another SEC team lost? Texas on the verge of winning, but a lot of football left there. Wasn't there somebody else? There's been another loss. I'll look right quick. I got a second. Tennessee. Missouri lost to Virginia. Sure did. Missouri lost to Virginia. I think it's all losses. Houston beat LSU. All losses, dude. All losses. Houston beat LSU by 3 points. So I believe the SEC has lost in every bowl game. So shout out to that. That putting a big hole in everything I said about the schedule, but I still believe what I said. Give me Alabama. Still believe in what I said. But yeah, every SEC team has lost their bowl game. I don't think I've watched all of them. I definitely missed that LSU and Houston game. Great point, Sydney. The SEC is over in every damn bowl game. That's fucking terrible. Jesus Christ, really makes me look bad. I'm still going with what I said, though. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Jungle Brother said Georgia versus Ole Miss playing in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. Okay. I missed that before. Jungle Brother said these D coordinators refuse to put These D coordinators refuse to put a spy on these white quarterbacks. No, they won't. Regardless of how many times he's running. How does a 4.8 40 Arch Manning run for 60 yards not being touched? Black quarterbacks in the game have 2 spies on his ass the whole game. He at least has one. But yeah, when especially when they're depending on it, like a Haynes King and at least in this game, and Arch Manning, I'm going to take that run away from you, so you got to sit back there and make a decision and maybe give me the football, especially Haynes King. I can't let you run because that's really part of your superpower. I got to take the run away from him and make him sit back there and throw because that's not what he wants to do. So I'd agree with you, sir, especially with a Haynes King. His game depends on him running, and teams really still don't key in on that shit. You take his running away. If he beats you through the air on a regular basis, you deserve to lose, but you can't let him run. Sidney Jackson said, wait. The 4-letter has a broadcast for the game with Pat McAfee. Why would anyone want to watch that loud, ignorant Neanderthal imbecile? What name again? Pat McAfee? Pat McAfee. Which one is that? Oh, is that the one that does College Game Day? Okay, I got you now. I got you. I was trying to remember who the hell that was. Wait. The 4-letter network has a broadcast for the game with Pat McAfee. Why would anyone want to watch that loud, ignorant Neanderthal imbecile? I think a large portion of America really likes him. They really like him. Sidney Jackson says, nah, I didn't put much stock in these bowl games. Players and coaches leave. It's usually not the same team from the regular season that play in these lesser bowls. Hey, man, I just when I was watching was it Arizona State? One of these games, it might have been the Arizona State game. It might have been a different one. But I think it was Arizona State. They said that 16 starters weren't playing in that game. Now, I don't know if they all have a chance to go pro if they're transferring. And if you're staying with the team, obviously you're going to play. But I'm assuming 16 players had an opportunity to leave and they're getting out of there. Or they're going to try out for the NFL, but there's no other reason for 16 starters to not play. 16? So you're right about that. Depending on what team you pick, you don't necessarily get the team to play during the regular season. So I think it would be prudent and almost necessary and vital if you can find a team. Okay, for instance, let me think of an example. Okay, for instance, even though they lost, Vanderbilt was happy to be in the bowl game, so most of them are going to show up. There are a couple more teams, like I'm trying to remember right. There are a few teams, like the way they're put together. For the most part, you were going to get that team. But just nowadays, it's rare to get the team you saw during the regular season, unless you're in the playoffs and you're trying to win everything. And even in those cases, sometimes you don't get the whole squad, which is crazy. Oh yeah, this is over. I just saw how much time is left in the game. Oh yeah, it's about that time. Let me get to the bottom of this chat before we get out of here. But you're right, Sydney. We're definitely getting a facsimile thereof when it comes to some of these teams. JBJ said, enjoy that sunshine, State Sluggo. I just got back from Florida on Monday. Yeah, especially considering the way the temperature dropped around here. Jungle Butter said, speaking of JBJ, Jungle Butter speaking to JBJ and saying as he always does.
Hey, who raised you? Hey, who raised you?
JBJ said, I don't care if the SEC is 0-4 in bowl games. It's still the most competitive conference, top to bottom, week in and week out. And I couldn't have said that any better myself.
Amen, preacher.
But some people, and I know some of them, are going to use that as for an argument that it's not, but you're 100% correct, sir. You're 100% correct. For real? Wait a minute. Pat McAfee used to be a fucking kicker? That loud motherfucker they got screaming on the TV was a fucking kicker? Man. What? A damn kicker. That's crazy. This is the Underground Railroad Show hosted by your boy, that Ninja. Hey, man, appreciate y'all coming in. Kicking it with me this last little show of the year. Let me say this. Good second round matchups, college football wise. NFL wise, ugly for me. As far as Sidney Jackson said, excuse me, Pat was a punter, not even a kicker. A fucking punter? That's incredible. A punter. Okay, so we're being bombarded by a fucking punter. College-wise, we got good playoff matchups. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be interesting. Much better than last year from a matchup standpoint. We'll see what happens with the games, but matchup-wise, I like what we have. NFL-wise, everything for me has been terrible as far as what I'd like to see personally. In the AFC, unless Baltimore makes it in, all I have is Houston. I hope Baltimore makes it in because sneaking in on a year like this would be the type of year where they shake something. But right now, all I have is Houston in the AFC. In the NFC, all I have is Green Bay, Chicago, and the defending Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. That is my only rooting interest. Now, outside of that, I can enjoy the game of football. But if those teams find their way out of the playoffs, I have no rooting interest or nothing that really causes me to be excited for a game. So maybe with Kansas City not being in it, they won't flag whip Houston. Houston, with DeMeco Ryans as head coach, every year has always gotten better. I don't know if people are paying attention. They just talk about early in the year how shaky they look. But if you pay attention every single year, number one, they've made the playoffs every year he's been a head coach. C.J. Stroud has never missed the playoffs as a quarterback. They're just now getting all their receivers healthy. They have one of the best defenses in the league, and they always play better ball in the second half of the season. So they're going into the playoffs playing good football. Only thing they really need to do this week is come out of the game healthy. They're already in. I don't know what this game means for them. I don't know if it's a game where it's worth playing a starter. It might not be for them. I don't know. So for them, it might not even be worth playing any starters, to be honest with you. So we'll see. But the NFL is ugly for me in that regard. This year has been interesting, man. It's been an interesting year. Been a good year in a lot of ways. Real good year. Been an interesting year. Show-wise, I'll say this. Next year, I will be more diligent. I'm kind of used to my surroundings now, used to this format. I have the Dr. King episode coming up. I'm no longer going to do a Ninjaversary, so everything's going to be on schedule. You know, we have the annual Dr. King Malcolm X episode coming up. We have the annual bracket show coming up. All right, I'm just letting this bullshit. I'm just going to keep it moving. But I'm going to be more diligent, and bracket show wise, I'll come up with some ideas. I'll throw them out there to y'all and see what you think. And I'll probably ask for participation again with TSA being in school and having moved on. So, you know, we can do more age appropriate things. We can switch it up. So we'll figure some things out. So kind of keep that in mind. And this is what I never said at the beginning of the show. Sydney, I owe you an apology. Christmas wish show. Obviously, I never did that. Sydney, I have your Christmas wish. I did 2 of them. I did it twice. This format is not good for trying to do skits from an audio standpoint. And I'm trying to do it on Spreaker, and it's shaky. I have 2 really shitty versions. Honestly, I'd rather do it live than play in either one of those. I'm still going to do it for you, but I got to figure something out. This particular format is not good because I can't talk while the sound bite is playing. And in some instances, I need some background music, so it fucks everything up. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I'll try to get it done on the other one. But when I try to do it on here and not being able to play the sound bite while I can talk, it fucked up. Oh, wow, really? On the main speaker. It really threw things off. It threw things off. But you know what? That's perfect for what I need to do. I wonder would that work. I hope y'all. Okay, maybe y'all can hear that. That's the way I'm gonna try to play pop shit. So Sydney, I owe you an apology because you sent me a great Christmas wish. And I haven't executed it yet. I had severe audio issues trying to use this format doing skits. It was difficult. Jungle said the media been on that BS covering the Texans. Every time the defense makes a play, they show the white defensive coordinator like that's not DeMeco Ryans' defense. Well, they always do that, Jungle. See, this is a great point by Jungle. Let me bomb drop that and elaborate.
Amen, preacher.
People don't notice that. They're very slick with the camera coverage and the way they talk. They were shitting on Reed the entire game. From the beginning of the game, they were shitting on him when Carson Beck is over there playing like pure shit. They had nothing positive to say about Reed the entire game when Texas A&M played Miami. Everybody that is involved with sports is biased as hell, either by their birthright, how they were raised, or how they're taught to be by their employers. I don't care what the reason is, but I know there's a reason I don't listen to the commentary. Great point. Great point, Jungle. That's an excellent point. Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in for a hot minute on New Year's Eve. I know everybody's busy, kind of chilling, doing your thing. So I appreciate y'all tuning in for a minute. Let me get my thoughts off for a minute, get my little bit of therapy in. I found myself watching TV and going off on rants to myself. I said, man, if you don't do a show. But I promise you next year for your convenience and for my sake, I will be back to being consistent on my shows. I definitely felt the effects of not doing my weekly show. But when things are going bad on the field, they show the black quarterback. When they're going well, they show the white coordinator. When the black quarterback's playing well, they talk about what a great play call it was. And they keep the camera on the coordinator. And it works on most simple-minded sheep. They don't even notice what they're doing to them. That's the reason why these white quarterbacks can play terrible. Okay, put it like this. If you're a thinking man or a thinking person, when they keep bringing up Mike Tomlin's coaching career, you would say that's interesting because the Giants had another terrible year, even with a coaching change. The Arizona coach, who's been there about 2-3 years now, has never had a good season. San Francisco has been shaky these last few years. They having a good year this year, but not last year. Tampa Bay, despite all that positive coverage, has been right at or under 500 the past 3 years. And this year, they're in danger of falling out of the playoffs, being 2 games under 500, but all the coverage has been positive. And when the game went bad, they just stopped covering them. If you're thinking, man, you'll wonder about all Detroit lost the coordinator and fell off the map, but that's no excuse. It wasn't an excuse for Philadelphia and everybody else when they played poorly. It wasn't an excuse for Jalen Hurts. They just hated it. They just said he sucked. So I don't want to hear it, especially with Jared Goff being as great as you say he is. So it shouldn't have mattered. He's the coach on the field anyway, right? Detroit fell off. There are a lot of coaches to talk about. Detroit has only had a couple of good seasons. Go back and look at their record. They've had 3 bad years, 2 good ones under that coach. You wouldn't know that from the coverage. So if you're thinking, man, you'll think about that when they start. Cleveland's coach hasn't done a fucking thing. Didn't play the quarterback that was best suited to help his team. When Deshaun Watson was upright, he did a terrible job of protecting them. So there's a lot to talk about in that regard. But you're talking to me about Mike Tomlin? If you actually think, you'll know how stupid that is, and you'll come to that conclusion. But the average sheep will just discuss what they discuss because on some level, the mainstream media and what they talk about, that's their God. But I'm just annoyed by the dumb things that they bring up, and that's an example. The way they work the camera, the way they talk about the teams. When I'm forced to listen to the commentary for whatever reason, it's consistently horrible and biased and racist as hell with no shame. And people have gotten so used to it that they just accept it and rationalize it to some degree. Sidney Jackson said the Eagles and the Lions have suffered from losing an OC. Golf is a bum without Ben Johnson. Again, preach, great point.
Amen, preacher.
JBJ said, I can never root for Ohio nor Miami. I hope both. Funny. JBJ said, I hope both those motherfuckers lose. It can't happen, sir. JBJ said, I hope both those lose.
Motherfucker.
And, sir, it's the Ohio State University. Ohio is the green wave. They wear green and white. That has nothing to do with us. Get right, sir. Get right. Sidney Johnson said, can you make the video in an MP4 format and upload it to YouTube? And that's the other thing about it. I really don't want to do it on the video. Like when I did it, I cut the thing off. It looks, I know y'all probably want to see it. To me, it looks crazy as you watch me sit here and jump from person to person. You probably want to see the shit. But I kind of wanted to kill the camera because it makes it it's more believable. So I kind of killed the camera effect anyway. The problem is the audio of it. But can I do a video on YouTube and try it? I might be able to, man. I probably could. You know what, Sydney? I probably could. Offline video uploaded. Shit. Sydney, great suggestion. Let me look into that. You know what? I can probably do that. And that would probably solve my audio issue. Well, you know what? Would I be able to? I think what it comes down to is I don't know if I'm going to be able to provide ambiance. I don't know if I can do any production. That's where the problem lies. I can just run the skit. The problem is I don't think I'm going to be able to do much production. That's why I'm running into problems, and I feel like the production adds something. So that's where the problem is. But what you're referring to, I could do that. Because I could do that, and that probably would kill my audio problems. Okay, I'll look into that, Sydney. I'll look into that. Sydney Jackson said, no, read that one. JBJ said, as I've told Maurice, Pat McAfee is a fucking mascot, a loudmouth, obnoxious redneck cracker who gets away with murder while on air. Sir? Sounds to me like you're preaching, and let me
White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever.
Who raised you?
Great point, sir. Great point. JBJ said, as I've told Maurice, Pat McAfee is a fucking mascot, a loudmouth, obnoxious redneck cracker who gets away with murder while on air.
Devil! You're a devil! You're a devil!
Sidney Jackson said, preach, JBJ. Much better people have been ran off the air. Preach, sir. Preach. Matter of fact, let's do
You're
this.
a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
JBJ said, who else can get away with saying shit while on Disney's airwaves? Man, I almost spit my damn... I almost spit out my damn liquor. Hey, look, let me get ready to close this chat out. Slow down. I'm going to close this chat out. I'm going to play Pop's words, man. Hey, look. Hand clap for y'all. Appreciate y'all on New Year's Eve helping me with the relief, man. Appreciate it. Boy, you a damn fool. But let me let me give you what you requested. That's hysterical. That's interesting because that should be right. Forgive me for the pause, but that should be right there. Nope, not that. Nope. You know what? I know why. And this is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, that ninja. JBJ said, who else can get away with saying shit while on the Disney airwaves?
I hope those white bitches get tear gassed. I hope those white bitches get tear gassed. I hope those white bitches get tear gassed.
JBJ said, white people have never... Oh, I didn't think y'all heard that shit. I believe this sound bite is courtesy of the great Sidney Jackson. I think that was this is courtesy of the great Sidney Jackson, but JBJ obviously caught that. JBJ obviously caught that and said to herself,
Hey, slow down. Watch your speed.
Apologize for those sound bites being loud. This one's a little low, so just to give you a little bit of volume. JBJ says,
white people have never been clean. Not now, not ever.
JBJ said, appreciate you, sir. I just lost my pops. So a shout out to yours and mine. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, JBJ, man. Sorry about that, JBJ, man. Sorry you lost your pop, man. RIP to your pops. And just do a better job of remembering the good times than I did those first couple years. You know what I'm saying? Condolences, sir. Condolences. More I think about it. Let me take a shot for your pop and mine, sir. R.I.P. to your pops, man. That's rough, as is all things, but parental loss is rough, man. R.I.P. to your pops, sir. Matter of fact, let's do that appropriately. Let's do that.
R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Look, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Look, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. to your pops, JBJ, man. All right, look, man, I'm going to play Pop's words and get ready to get out of here. Last show of the year, so I'll go ahead and do my outro. 6:12, game allegedly starts at 6:30. If I had to guess, they're going to have a bunch of theatrics. Let me go to one place where I know I got it. That speaker cut off? No, it's still on. Okay, we're good. Let's go here. Should be able to pull it up right there. Let's go here. Nope, that's the wrong one. All right, let's go there. Should be back one. What about? Let's go back. This one. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see. Okay, that works. Okay, quick. Let me ask y'all this right quick. Can y'all hear this? Okay, that works. Okay, quick. Let me ask y'all this right quick. Can y'all hear this? Well, that's not gonna. Let's see. Well, that'll work at the time. No, it won't, will it? Okay, let me check the time right quick. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I could. When that played, could y'all hear that in the background? JBJ said, "Happy New Year, folk. Happy New Year to you, sir." Jungle giving his condolences. Sydney said, "We made it to another year, brothers, which is a miracle considering what we have to deal with." Amen. Preach on that. Hey, listen, when that music was playing in the background, could y'all hear it? I'm pretty sure I can disconnect this damn speaker and y'all will hear that shit. All right, let's try this again. Tell me, can y'all hear this? Okay, y'all can hear that? Okay. I should be able to play Pop's words over that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all my outro, then I'm going to play Pop's words and get out of here. Getting feedback through the mic, though. I wonder. I know what I'll do. I'll take it off the Bluetooth. That should kill it. I killed the Bluetooth. I think I got it. Let me test it first, because after the fact, I won't know. All right, tell me how this sounds. I could take this off, but let me see if I can do this through the microphone without it being a problem. So tell me what we're getting right here.
greatest part of you has been buried.
Apologize for this. I couldn't get it downloaded, man. That works? Okay. Okay. Okay, that works. Okay, cool. That's all I need to know. So I can take this off and just run it through there at the end. I couldn't download it for whatever reason. It's not on my hard drive. And I couldn't connect it through my phone to make it happen. So I was short on that. Here's what it is. All right, so I usually have a little end of the year speech, man, but I don't really have one. Don't got anything on the brain like that. Don't feel like even digging like that. But interesting year, man. Interesting year. I'll say taking back a little bit what JBJ said. I'll say this, man, because this is the same thing I say to everybody, just so maybe, people don't do what I did. And you're probably in a better place, you know what I'm saying? But I'd say celebrate. Do everything you can to be grateful for the time that y'all had. Don't waste any time with wish I would have did that or that. Try to do as little of that as possible, if that's even a thing. And celebrate that and celebrate your pop by living. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate them by living. I wasted a couple years just being numb. Two good ones. So I say that to anybody when I hear that they lost somebody, because you don't need to do shit I did. Let me give you all this outro, man. I'm finna get ready to watch The Ohio State University. I don't anticipate any problems in this game. Again, if Miami can run the ball and if they can get to our quarterback, that's the only way this could get ugly for us. Outside of us turning the ball over and making mistakes. But I have so little faith in Carson Beck, especially considering our defense is the strongest part of our team, and I do believe in the defense. I have very little faith in Carson Beck against our defense. So I'm confident in tonight's game. I think we'll pull it off. There are a lot of things that we do as a team that I don't like, but those things should not stop us from winning this game tonight. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the games tomorrow. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. And this is messed up. JBJ said, great advice, but it's difficult not to have regrets. And JBJ, is perfectly normal and healthy to have regrets, sir. Normal and healthy. Perfectly fine. But just try to minimize them and don't let it consume you. You know what I'm saying? If that's even a thing, don't let regrets consume you. Do everything you can to remember all the good shit, because there's a lot of that. And for whatever reason, we tend to focus on the negative. So cut yourself some slack and focus on all the good things. You know what I'm saying? Do your best to do that. Easier said than done, but do your best. Do your best. JBJ, I hope this game ends in a tie. Okay, being a Florida fan, I get why you say that, but I don't know why you got to do us like that. I understand why you feel that way about Miami, but why us? What do we do to y'all? What we do to y'all? The 1 year we played y'all won. Y'all won. What's your problem? Don't laugh at JBJ. Don't laugh. JBJ said the Miami mascots have arrived. Irvin and Ray Lewis. Hey, look, I wish I had. You know what? Forget it. It's the last show of the year. I actually think I may have that. I'll give you that one on the last chat. I'm pretty sure I have that damn thing. Where's it at? I'm pretty sure I have that. I'm almost certain I have that. That should be in the. You know what? No. That should be. Where's that at? Okay, let's check here. What did I call that? No. Oh, I remember what I called it now. Oh, no. I know where it's at. I know exactly what it's at. My bad. I got you, sir. Sorry for the pause. I know exactly what that's at. should be in here. Where's that damn thing at? There it is. Yep. I knew where that was at. JBJ said, "Nigga, you're right. I'm pulling for Ohio." Well, I appreciate it. Unless we lose, and I'm gonna call you. Lose, I'm calling you. That's what's gonna happen. Sidney Jackson said, "Last game, Michael Irvin was on all 4 hours barking. I'm afraid if Miami wins, his heart might explode." But y'all are stupid. Y'all been on old Mike, man. Y'all been on Mike. My sound bites are up too high, but fuck it. At this point, I might as well let it ride. JBJ said, "The Miami mascots have arrived. Irvin."
Boy, what the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired? Boy, what the hell's the matter with you? You want me to get fired?
Pouring up that shot for Pop. And JBJ says, "On the way out." And this is the Underground Railroad Show. Last show of the year. Appreciate y'all coming in and kicking it with me for a minute, man. Getting ready for this game. The Ohio State University versus the U. On the way out, JBJ says,
"Oh, sorry. That's not right."
Oh, sorry. That's not what he said. My bad, sir. I gave you the wrong damn soundbite. My bad. And this is the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy that Ninja. I can't leave on a bad soundbite like that. I can't leave on a bad soundbite like that. We got to fix that. Ah, we're gonna have to do a substitute. Interesting. Oh. No, that's still not right. That should be right. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to substitute that. No, we're not. JBJ on the way out says,
"It's fact. You're right. It's fact. You're right. It's fact."
And that was unfortunately about when we had the great team led by the great Troy Smith, and our line couldn't block for him, and the defensive line for Florida ate all game, giving Troy Smith hell. Ted Ginn got hurt on the first play of the game when he ran the kickoff back for a touchdown. He got hurt when they was jumping on him, celebrating and shit. And everything went bad after that.
It's fact. You're right. It's fact.
Man, everything went bad. Let's do this outro, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Underground Railroad Show, hosted by your boy, that Ninja, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the back and forth. I consider this show to be therapeutic, which makes all of you my de facto therapists. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for the session. Moms taught me how to cook when I was younger. I still love to cook to this day. Love you, moms. Pops taught me to think of all I speak, but speak not all I think. Simply put, that means that sometimes you either need to shut the fuck up or at least think about what it is you're about to say and who you're about to say it to. Pops also taught me how to be a man. Slow down, T. Pops also taught me how to be a man, and I appreciate that because I witnessed a lot of individuals who don't conduct themselves as a man, and I'm glad I'm not in that category. Appreciate you, Pop. Wish I would have told you that more when you were here, sir. Yeah, JBJ, you're right. It's easier said than done because it almost sounds like I got regret when I say that, but I'm just saying it out loud. But appreciate you, sir. R.I.P. to DT and R.I.P. to your Pop, JBJ. R.I.P. DT. It's okay to think. It's not illegal yet. If somebody teaches you something, take the time to look into it for yourself. This initiates the learning process. If somebody teaches you something and you take them on their word, you're being taught. You're not learning. Always confirm anything that's being told to you. So if I tell you something, if anybody tells you something, look into it for yourself. When you do that, that's how you learn. Never get taught. Always learn. Pops also taught me that a man who trims himself to suit everybody will soon whittle himself away, meaning that if you change or compromise who you are to get along, you will lose yourself in the end. Don't compromise who you are. And to quote the last line of Mass Appeal by the late, great guru, I'll be kicking the reel while they'll be losing the race trying to chase Mass Appeal. appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the back and forth. Thank you for the therapy. I've neglected the cows severely. Didn't have time to get into it today. Didn't have time to get into it. That being said, I had a pause right there, so letting it catch up. With all that being said, we are at war. Please get at least one long gun and one short gun. Please get at least 1,000 rounds of ammunition for each. Go to the range, learn how to shoot, and use your weapon efficiently. Learn how to carry it, clean it, take care of it. Teach everybody you love and care about to do the same. Take the time to learn how to clear your house. Doesn't take that long. Do it on a repetitive basis to where it becomes normalcy. It's muscle memory. You'll discover a few things. You'll discover panic, how quickly you move. Okay, I need to have this on. I need to have this close. I don't have time to go here and take this out of this and put this in that. I need to go here first. I need to have a code word where everybody knows to lock their door and or get their shit ready. So there's so many things involved with that. Take the time to learn how to clear your house. Try to develop a mentality that will allow you to not hesitate to defend yourself, your property, and those who you care about. A good way to develop that mentality is to study where you came from, how you got here, and how you've been treated since you've been here. If you do that, I promise you, pulling the trigger will be a hell of a lot easier. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for the therapy. Thank you for the back and forth. Excuse me. As always, on the last show of the year, I'm going to go out on Pop's words. Before I do that, one last chat. Jungle Brother said, great show, Diplomat.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
Thank you, sir.
You're a goddamn genius. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted.
All right, let me fix that. We're in the wrong place. Where are we at? Give me, okay. That's not where I need to be. That's not it. Go back one more. Yeah, this card, go back. Where we at here? All right, here we go. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to go out on Pop's words. Hey, look, man, appreciate y'all. Let me check the chat one more time. Appreciate y'all, man. As always, y'all take care and be easy.
Donald Tiller, April 21st, 1994. To my son, Torson, age ain't nothing but a number. 1990.
Okay, I see that's not going to work. Let me try. I'm going to try this.
stand up and be
The widest.
Testing. All right, my bad. All right, Pop's words on the way out. My bad.
Donald Tiller, April 21st, 1994. To my son Torson, age ain't nothing but a number. Life is for the living. So live each day as if it was your first. Never start a day on yesterday's memories, but let each day be to you a new beginning. You are 18 and I'll soon be 42. Nothing old, nothing new. Yet in our hearts, we must try to be true. Feel those feelings and come to know. Anything that's not good, we must let it go. Hold on to love and a feeling that's true. Never let wrong or bad get the best of you. Yes, I love you and I'm a man. So much in this life that I don't understand. But understanding me is an everyday affair. Just trying to be peaceful and show that I care. So remember those feelings that shake in your heart. Be true to yourself and from life never part. Stop, look, and listen to every little sound. Smile and be happy. There's no reason to frown. Life is too short. Life is too long. No time to be weak. Stand up and be strong. Build in your mind and work on your heart. Don't worry about troubles. Let God do his part. He so do love you day by day and by night. So try with your heart to do what is right. Love is the answer. Love is the way. I love you, my son. Happy birthday. Our example outlives our achievements. We at any age are treated the way we invite treatment. We never grow old emotionally. Our bodies change, but our emotional needs do not. Contentment to savor the present comes from experiencing life's pleasures and the sorrows from the past. Think all you speak, but speak not all you think. A smile is a curve that can set a lot of things straight. Taking the bull by the horns is often a sound course of action as long as you and the bull agree on when you can let go. Let us realize that what happens around us is largely outside of our control, but that the way we choose to react to it is inside our control. Be cheerful. Of all the things you wear, your expression is the most important. A minute of thought is worth more than an hour of talk. The real purpose of our existence is not to make a living, but to make a life a worth and well-rounded, useful life. A man who trims himself to suit everybody will soon whittle himself away. Wise men are not always silent, but know when to be. Hope, like love, transcends all time. It is a friend, a healer, a maker of dreams. What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us. Make it a point to do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Donald Tiller, April 21st, 1994.
You hear you? I hear you. 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 You hear you? I hear you.